Hi, this is David for Office 365 Fastlane, and in this video I'm going to take you through the process of using the Office 365 Fastlane wizard from start to finish. So to begin, you'll need to log into the portal as you usually would. From there we go to the Pricebook tab, and then from the menu we select Solution Wizards. We'll be presented with a list of options of available wizards. In this case, of course, we want Office 365 Fastlane. Now, since this is the first time we've used Fastlane, we'll be presented with this welcome page. On this page, there are a few questions that we'll need to go through, just for the first time as a once-off setup. So first, we have a couple of questions that we ask about your business. We use this information to make recommendations to you throughout the wizard. So, the first question is, what kind of business do you run? We ask if you're a telco service provider, or an IT service provider, or none of the above. In this case, I'll say I'm a telco-focused service provider. And next, we asked about your preferences for technical labor. So, you can select, I don't have any technicians in my business. You can say you do have IT technicians in your business, but you're open to the idea of outsourcing. Or if you're an IT company, you would select, we have technical resources and we prefer to use our own tech labor. In this case, I'll select that we don't have any, and we'll continue with that. Next, we'll need to get you set up as a Skykick partner. Office 365 Fastlane works very closely with Skykick's migration technology. In order to give you access to that technology, we'll need to set you up as a Skykick partner. We do so through an integration straight into Skykick's platform, through which we'll set you up with a partner account with them and link it to us as your distributor. All you'll need to do for that step is review the details here, which we'll take from your portal account, and confirm that they're all correct, and we'll provide those details to Skykick to get you set up with them. If there is anything incorrect here, go to the My Profile section of Portal and update your details there before you continue. Next, we'll ask you if you're a member of the Microsoft Partner Network. This is an optional step. If you are a member of MPN, please enter your MPN ID here. If you're not a member, it's worth having a look. You can click this button here to go to the Microsoft site to learn more about it. Otherwise, if you prefer not to, you can just leave this blank. It is an optional step. Finally, you'll need to accept some terms and conditions. There's a fair bit of information exchanged back and forth between us, yourself, Microsoft, and Skykick, and so on to make this happen. So you do need to agree that we'll be sharing the information that you provide to us as part of this wizard. And secondly, since we're setting you up with a Skykick partner account, you'll need to read through the Skykick terms and conditions on their website, and if you're happy with those, tick the box to confirm you'll accept those. Next, we'll click the next button to continue. In the next step, we need to activate your Skykick partner account that we've just created for you. To do so, you'll need to go to skykick.com and set up a password for your new account. To do so, click the first button here. That'll open a new tab in your browser and send you to the Skykick website and just give you a password box. From here, you can specify a password and then click Reset. The Skykick portal will now confirm that your password has been reset. You can now close this tab and return to the wizard. Step number 2 is to continue to the actual 365 Fastlane wizard. So we'll click the button here. And this will take us to what will normally be the first page you'll see when you start the wizard. So those steps were just a one-off for the first time you run it. Going forward, next time you come to access 365 Fastlane, you'll go straight to this screen. On this screen, we can see an option here to start a new wizard, as well as a list of any wizards that may be in progress. Since we've just activated this account, there are no wizards in progress, so our only option is to start a new wizard. On the right hand side here, you can see the steps that are involved in a 365 Fastlane wizard, and we'll go through those one by one throughout this process. First, select the customer that you would like to start a new wizard for. You can see the list of customers available to you in Portal here. If you don't see the customer you're looking for, you'll have an option here to import from the billing system that your Portal account is linked to. Once you have the customer that you would like to run the wizard for selected, simply click the Start a New Office 365 Fastlane Wizard button to begin. Now we see the introduction screen for the Fastlane Wizard. We start off with an introductory video that will outline at a high level the steps that we're about to go through. As well as that, we provide a copy of the full text guide that you can download here. I recommend downloading this and having it open either on another screen or in the background as you go through the wizard. It explains the steps in a bit more detail and the reasoning behind them. As well as that, we have the information gathering form. So throughout the process of this wizard, we're going to ask you a few questions about the customer. This form really comes in handy if you're going to go and see the customer before you complete this wizard, as it has all of the questions that we're going to ask throughout the wizard on a single form. If you complete that form, you'll have everything you need. Once we're finished here, we'll click Start the Wizard. In this step, we collect some customer details and set up a few basic settings for the wizard. Firstly, we need to give the solution a name. Now this name will appear on the proposal that's generated later on, so we recommend making this something that's tailored to the customer that'll make sense for them. But in this case, we'll just leave it as the default. Underneath here, we see the customer, the service provider, and we can specify a primary contact. By default, this will be yourself. The primary contact is the person who will receive any correspondence in the form of emails or calls from technicians throughout this process. You may select the customer if you choose, otherwise, in most cases, we recommend leaving the contact as yourself. Next, we'll ask about the customer's existing engagement with Office 365. Do they already have an Office 365 service? Or will this be their first 365 service? In most cases, the customers won't have one, so we'll select this option. If you're not sure whether a customer has Office 365 or not, click the Help Me Choose option here, which will show you a guide to figure out whether they are or they aren't. Next, we'll enter some details about their existing email service. So this is the source email service details. This is information about the current email service they're on today. The first one is the production domain. This will be the domain on the second half of their email address. So in this case, we'll choose example.com.au, and then we specify a primary email address. This would generally be the main contact of the business, so we'll choose john@example.com.au. Next, we need to specify an Office 365 domain. This will be the subdomain on the Microsoft Office 365 platform that we'll reserve for this customer to be migrated to at a later date. This has to be unique, so we recommend using something that's somewhat tailored to the business, but still distinct enough to be unique. You can change this value here and click the Check Availability button to make sure that that domain is available. Next, we'll confirm the details on the customer's account that will be sent across to Microsoft. We'll take their name, email address, street address, and we'll link this new Office 365 service to their portal account. It's important to make sure they're using a street address here, as Microsoft won't accept PO boxes. Once you've confirmed all of these details are correct, click the Proceed to Step 2 button. On the next screen, Fastlane will automatically create an Office 365 tenant, which will be used later in the process to migrate the customer service to. At this stage, no licensing is being applied to the tenant, so there's no cost for the Office 365 service. This process can take some time, as we're interacting with Microsoft's system, which can, on occasion, take up to a few minutes to confirm that service has been created. Once the process has been completed, you should see this section pop out here with a green tick confirming we've successfully created the Office 365 service. Once you see that, you can click the next button to continue. In this step, we'll do a similar process with Skykick. We'll connect to the Skykick platform and automatically create a Skykick migration for this wizard. Once this process has been completed, you should get a green tick at the bottom like this. You can now click Continue to proceed to the next step. In this step, we'll need to go to the Skykick portal to provide the login details for the customer's existing email service, so that we can scan it to gather the qualification and scoping information we need for the rest of the process. If you don't have a login for the customer's existing email service, you can skip this step for now by scrolling to the bottom and selecting Skip for Now. However, we do strongly recommend that you complete this step if at all possible. In order to do so, we'll click the button at the top here, go to SkyKick Portal and provide login details. This will take you to the pre-created migration that we've created for you in the SkyKick Web Planner. Please confirm the details here, and then under the Source Email System heading, enter the login details for the customer's existing email service. Once you do so, click the Verify button, and SkyKick will confirm that it can access the system. This process can take up to a couple of minutes. Once you see the green tick, we know that SkyKick can connect to the system, and we're ready to continue through the process. Click the Next Step button, which will then take us to the Office 365 screen. The first question is, have you already created an Office 365 account? Select Yes. Then it will ask for the admin username and password. You can find those details in the Office 365 Fastlane wizard under the Office 365 admin login section. Copy the username, then click Show Password and copy the password, then click Next Step. At this stage, return to the Office 365 Fastlane wizard, scroll to the bottom and click the Yes Qualification Passed button. The next step of the wizard will show you how to use the Review Accounts page in the SkyKick portal to finalize the list of accounts required for the new Office 365 service. We'll review the list of accounts, make the required changes, and finally click the Save for Later button at the bottom of the page. At this stage, we can return to the wizard, and then at the bottom of the page click Accounts checked in the SkyKick portal, continue to the next step. Fastlane has now imported the licensing requirements from the SkyKick portal based on the discovery information we just obtained. From that information, it'll provide us this list of the different types of Office 365 licenses and the quantity of those licenses that are required. Browse through this list and confirm that the licensing requirements look correct. If you need to make any changes, you can simply change the values in these boxes. If you want to confirm which users will automatically be assigned to that license type, click the Assigned Users box, and the list of email addresses will be displayed. For more information about any of the editions of Office 365 listed here, you can click Skew Information for general product info, or to compare the different editions, click Edition Inclusions. Once you're happy with the licenses you've selected, continue down to SkyKick Migration Seats. This will show the total number of SkyKick migrations that will be required to migrate the customer's existing environment. Mailboxes use migration seats, public folders use migration seats, and shared mailboxes also use migration seats. It's important to note that the number of migrations may not always be the same as the number of users. For more information about how this works, please see the SkyKick Migration section of the guide. Once you're happy with the number of licenses and SkyKick migration seats, click Licenses Look Good, Next Step. On the next screen, we'll select the edition of the Office 365 Fastlane package that we'd like to use for this opportunity. The edition that you choose will determine a number of different factors, such as who performs the professional services for migration, the ongoing management of the service, as well as which value-added services are included. For more information about the different editions, please see the collateral for Office 365 Fastlane. In this instance, we're going to use Turnkey Edition. Next, you'll select the pricing model that you'd like to use for the service. Some editions are available as a fully amortized option with no upfront setup cost, while others will require the migration component to be paid up front. Make your preferred selection here and then click Continue to Next Step. The next step will ask if you'd like to add any additional services into the offering. Options for additional services include security products such as Exchange Online Protection, Exchange Online Advanced Protection, and Cisco Cloud Email Security, as well as more labor options such as on-premise implementation and training. At the time of this video being recorded, these options have not yet launched, but they will be available in future. Once you've made any selections on this screen, click Next Step. In this step, we'll create a proposal using the information that we've gathered so far to present to the customer. This uses the Solution Proposal Generator feature of the portal. So to create the proposal, we'll click Create a new solution proposal for this wizard. Once we've done so, we'll then see an option, Go to Solution Proposal. You can either click this button to go to it straight away, or this one to open it in a new window. So we'll go straight there. Now we're in the proposal generator. As you scroll down, you'll see the different components that have been put together to make up the solution. That includes the Office 365 Fastlane package that we selected, as well as the Office 365 licenses that are required based on the discovery information and the licenses that we selected. Here you can edit the retail prices that will appear on the invoice. Otherwise, if you're happy with what you see, click Download Proposal. From this screen, you can select which pieces of collateral will be automatically included in the proposal that you generate. This can include a cover letter, pricing information, and in this case the quotation is on by default, as well as, importantly, the Office 365 Fastlane collateral that you can select from here. You may also want to include a signature page so you can have the customer sign off using just the proposal. Once you're happy with the options you've selected, click the Download Proposal button. Your browser will then download a Word document, which will open here. If you have white labeling configured in Portal, the branding of the proposal generated will be based on that configuration. We'll continue to the quote page of the proposal, which we can see here includes the customer details taken from the wizard, the name that we provided, the domain for the migration, and importantly, the package we've selected and the licenses required. Go through the proposal and make any desired changes before providing it to the customer. Once you've customized the proposal, return to the wizard where you can find some more collateral for the product, as well as options for engaging Cloud Sales Assist should you require any assistance throughout the pre-sales process. At this point, you should provide the proposal as well as any other desired collateral to the customer. At this point, you can close the wizard and return later simply by selecting Price Book, Solution Wizards, and then resuming from there. At this point in the process, the wizard will progress from a pre-sales opportunity into an order. Please ensure that you have a signature on the proposal from the customer before proceeding. Once the customer has signed off on the opportunity, return to the wizard, scroll down to Opportunity Outcome, and then click Proposal Accepted. This is the demarcation point from moving from the pre-sales phase into the ordering phase. For this reason, it's important that you read through each of these terms and conditions to be sure that you understand what's about to happen. Firstly, up until this point, the Office 365 Fastlane process has been free. We're about to start ordering licenses, so from this point on, it's about to start costing money. Secondly, depending on the edition that you've chosen, you may be about to commit to a contract period. Some have a 1-month contract, which entails a commitment to paying for at least 1 full month of Office 365 and the package service. Others have 24-month contracts. The contract period will start from the completion date of the migration. And thirdly, you won't be able to make any further changes to the details that you've provided so far beyond this point. If you do need to make any changes, you can select from the previous steps on the right to go back. Once you pass this step, you won't be able to do so anymore, so ensure that you do so now before you continue. If you accept the terms and you're sure that all the details are correct, click the Accept Terms and Submit Order button. Now that we've progressed from the pre-sales to the ordering phase, the wizard will now connect to the Office 365 tenant that was created earlier and provision the required licenses. It's important to note that billing for the required Office 365 licenses will start from today. Once the licenses have been provisioned, you'll see the green tick and we can select Continue to the next step. At this point, the wizard will go in one of two different directions depending on whether you've selected an edition that includes professional services from Anatel or has a self-service migration. If you've selected an edition with Anatel Professional Services, you'll see a letter on this page confirming that your job has been sent to Anatel and that a technician will be in contact with you within 1 business day. At this point, the wizard will go on hold and will return here later after the migration has been completed by the technician. If you've selected an edition that doesn't include professional services migration, instead you will see this screen. This page includes instructions as well as a video guide that will explain how to complete the migration using the SkyKick platform. You can resume the migration by clicking the Go to the SkyKick portal button here. This will take you back into the web planner on skykick.com, which will allow you to schedule and complete the migration. For detailed instructions on how to complete the migration in the SkyKick portal, please see the documentation or video guide included in the wizard. If at any stage throughout the migration you need support, the contact details for both SkyKick support as well as MyCloud support are provided here. Should you need help at any point throughout the process, please don't hesitate to reach out to either of these two teams. If your question is specific to the SkyKick portal, please contact SkyKick support on the number and email address here. For all other support inquiries, please contact MyCloud support on the phone number and email address listed here. In order to continue forward with the wizard, you'll need to complete the migration process. At this stage of the process, the migration has been completed, so the following steps apply to all wizards, regardless of whether you choose the professional services option or the self-service option. Once the migration process has been finished and the cutover has been completed, you'll receive an email like this one. It'll inform you that the migration cutover has been completed and advise that the next step will be to return to the wizard and configure the billing for the service. There's a link included at the bottom of this email, which will take you back into the wizard. So we click the link, which will take you to the next step. In this step, we'll configure the retail billing to make sure that the correct charges are being passed through to the customer. To set the retail rates for the service, follow the first set of instructions listed here. This will take you through the process of going to the customer's account in Portal, selecting rebilling options, and setting the retail rates that you prefer for the monthly fees here. If you don't do this, it will take the default SRPs. Secondly, you may need to make specific configuration in the billing system that you're using. For example, in Octane, you may need to create an other rated service. Follow the instructions listed here to do so. Once you're done setting retail rates and configuring your billing system, click All Done with Billing Setup at the bottom of the page. You've now reached the end of the Office 365 Fastlane wizard. This screen confirms that the customer has now been migrated across to Office 365 and they're now active on the service. Also here you'll find some lap times, which will give you an indication of the time taken to get from the beginning of the wizard to the proposal, from the proposal to the customer sign-off, and from the customer sign-off to finally you can click the Close this wizard button to end the wizard. Congratulations! At this point, you've successfully completed the Office 365 Fastlane wizard. Should you need any support throughout this process, please don't hesitate to contact MyCloud support on the details shown here. Should you have any queries directly relating to the SkyKick migration process in the SkyKick portal, please contact SkyKick support on the details shown here. For all other support related inquiries, please contact MyCloud support. Thanks for watching, and thanks for using Office 365 Fastlane.